Hey there, it's Ricky DaCosta. And today, I'm giving you all the part 2 that y'all have been so hungry for. So let's get right into it. Subscribe to Esplanade Explainers. Episode 10 of Season 2 begins with a foil to the normalization of mob politics in The Sopranos, the unwitting civilian. The Essex County Task Force brings in a, quote,
flag saluting motherfucker,
as he was made an eyewitness to the kidnapping and murder of Matthew Bevilaqua. Fortunately for the police, this witness didn't know what Tony Soprano looked like, hence why the cops don't acknowledge the mob tie. This poor schmuck went in to report a murder, presuming crack or something to be the cause, and the cops make no mention of the nature of the crowd that Matt was with. The whole reason this mob system survives is the terror instilled in the community, which is a key point that we'll return to later in the episode. We return to Tony's POV in a gorgeous shot of a carousel, painting the screen with shades of maroon and bright warm lights. Tony then hears a young kid who has lost track of his mother, and we are treated to a flashback of Matt's last moments. I will say, Tony's reactions, or lack thereof, kind of confuse me. I can't tell if he's experiencing guilt, shame, or anything at all at the reminder of killing a 23-year-old kid. I feel where episode 9 of season 2 focuses on how his family, his mob family, and his victims view him, this episode contributes to those threads, but also zooms out into a broader sense of how does the public feel about Tony Soprano? How do the cops view him? And how does the FBI view him? With contempt, but maybe even a begrudging respect? So Richie joins the scene, and Tony acknowledges the rights of two consenting adults.
What do you want to talk about? Fucking Dick Barone? Well, as long as the two of you are happy.
Now, I don't really give a shit about Richie's mob economic woes, besides the fact that this convo exposes an interesting habit of Tony's, which maybe we all relate to some extent. He steals sayings. He tries out idioms and similes he snags from other people and places. He actually does this quite a lot in the show.
You're like the old woman who's got a Virginia ham under her arm, and she goes around crying because she's got no bread. Never mind. The point is...
So, Tony returns home, as Carmela's dissociating into Memoirs of a Geisha. As they're getting ready for bed, Tony mentions that all of a sudden he wants to spend more time with AJ, after all but being uninvolved in his life up until that point.
I want to spend more time with AJ.
Why the sudden burst of fatherhood?
Can you say anything without it being sarcastic?
Tony replies with,
Yeah, well, somebody needs to teach that kid some street smarts. Not to be a sucker. Not to be involved with the wrong people. I don't want another Christopher on my hands. I mean, look at him. He's lucky to be alive. That other poor prick they found dead. Kid was 23 or something.
23-year-old kid. Maybe you should have thought of that before you pumped lead into him. Anyway, the next day, Tony and the gang have fully sunk their teeth into Davy Scatino's business and are bleeding him dry. They're ruining his credit, selling the stolen goods for profit on the street. God help him. So, Tony goes home and begins his Father of the Year performance. This is another one of those noble narratives I talked about, by the way. They're preparing the pool, and then the FBI and police show up to his house, asking about who other than Matty Drinkwater Bevilaqua. In response to being goaded into coming to the station to talk, I believe Tony gives some shit about being public servants, but that arrogance is a front. It's the default hostility he applies to cops and feds who have no intent or motive to help him. But this is a shallow performance hiding a well of anxiety and worry. And when Tony gets worried, he gets meaner. This effectively ushers us into one of the most interesting relationships in the show. Tony and his lawyer, Neil Mink. I've never seen anyone in this series, not even Carmela, talk to Tony the way Neil does. I've never even seen Tony show stress in front of anyone the way he does in front of Neil. Not even Melfi in some cases. I think the combination of him being in the ballpark and being Tony's guardian angel, or devil, however you like to see it, makes for a weird kind of father-son relationship. Tony is clearly feeling the intensity and the dread of the potential indictments hanging over his head, and has two truly confidential places where he can allow this fear and this anxiety to surface. Actually, maybe not two truly confidential places. Mink might actually be the only person that he can entirely trust. And I mean, hell, Tony sounds like a guilty child when basically being scolded by Neil.
Let me get our ducks in a row. In the meantime, keep your cool and go the speed limit. Don't give him an in. What did I just say?
Don't give him an in.
He knows Neil knows what he's doing and pays him handsomely in retainers because he can get him out of most jams. One could argue that, in some ways, he understands the mob architecture better than Tony does. Now, there are so many plot threads in this episode I'm going to neglect, because I want to continue to focus on Tony and how he's perceived by his family, the people in his life, and society at large. About 20 minutes in, Tony and Pussy sit together, theorizing about what the FBI seek to gain from asking Tony to come in. Paulie and Furio join the fold and break the news that the eyewitness from the beginning was the one that ratted him out.
Crack.
Understandably, Tony freaks out.
Jesus Christ. Shit!
Tony sees Davy as nothing but a noisy animal or an inconvenience to cow and to manage.
Get the fuck back in your fucking hole! Now! Davy, you're doing a good job.
And treats him as such, because who's going to stop him? He even calculates after that because David is a respected member of the community, treating him like trash could be unwise. The next day, as Tony is filled with anxiety about his fuck-up, he seeks to make up for lost time with AJ, but his way. Tony takes advantage of the Scatino bust-out to get AJ an expensive fishing rod. He offers to take AJ out on the boat and go fishing and go to the movies, but AJ had already made plans that day. So, no hard feelings, right? Fat fucking chance. Tony's hit with the reality check that Tony might have missed his window to have the kind of father-son relationship he had hoped for. And instead of accepting the fact that AJ is starting to grow up and has friends and has obligations and has a life outside of Tony, Tony gets mad. He projects all of that onto AJ. He takes the regret that he should have about not being more involved in his life and turns it on him. It's fucking crazy. Fuck Tony Soprano for this. Fuck Tony Soprano for this. I hate this shit so much. Now, forgive me if I get extra emotive here, but a big reason I write about this show with such passion is that I recognize things in these people. Getting back to Tony here, he, with bitterness and resentment, complains to Melfi about how AJ is becoming his own person, and how Tony's bids for affection don't get met with the exact response he wanted. By the way, I forgot about this before, but AJ didn't even say no to going fishing with Tony. He was down. He just had made plans on that specific day and didn't want to disappoint his friends. But Tony, because he's a fucking narcissist, takes this personally. It's eerily reminiscent of a quote that Janice gives in season 6. Not to read ahead too far, but...
Stanley said something interesting. That when we were babies, everything was fine. But Ma couldn't stand that as her babies got older, they separated from her.
Come on, you've been in there long enough.
When they started to talk and express ideas,
Did you hear me? I'm talking to you.
No.
that's when the trouble started.
Nika, come over here.
No.
Don't tell me no. Don't you ever tell me no.
In addition, when Tony wouldn't take AJ's no for an answer, he reframed AJ's excuse into why he couldn't go as something Tony would take pride in.
Boys and girls always in a group. What's that about? You know, in my day, a boy and a girl went on a date, and your father hoped you wouldn't get too far, or else you'd get the girl knocked up, and her parents would come over and break your legs.
AKA, AJ can't make it to go see the movies with Tony, because Tony Soprano, the man who supposedly bats 1,000 at chasing skirts, hotshot son, was out on a date, instead of accepting the very simple truth that AJ has friends. This scene makes me think about the Ducks that started this whole racket in the first place. I think focusing on breaking down who Tony really is, the Ducks triggering Tony's fear of losing his family never really made sense to me. I took the initial interpretation as maybe his family, he couldn't keep them safe, they would get hurt, anything like that. But I think with another framing, they snap right into place. 'Cause what were the Ducks doing? They were growing up, leaving the nest, becoming their own individuals, not as reliant on the mother. With parents like Livia, and unfortunately, like Tony and Janice, the idea of a child growing up and becoming more independent of the parent fills them with intense anxiety, and in Tony's case, maybe a grief or a regret. The problem is, Tony doesn't seem like such a family man, even to himself. So he regresses, gets tunnel vision, and projects all of that onto AJ, and treats it like it's AJ's transgression. It ultimately becomes an excuse for Tony to return to his absentee father status, where he basically has nothing to do with him.
Well, he's getting to that age where he's got a life of his own.
One that doesn't include you.
Was always, we'll do this, we're gonna do that.
Not so fast. I've heard you talk many times about being with your son.
Yeah, well, that's over now. Gone. Done.
It's bittersweet, this period. You're glad that they're growing up, but you're sad to lose them.
He also really takes his mask off with Melfi and shows his true, unbridled fear.
I could be going away for a very long time for something I didn't do. How about, gee, that's too bad, Anthony, or what a shame, Tony. I didn't do anything wrong. I could be going to the can for the rest of my fucking life, and I'm not supposed to discuss it with my psychiatrist?
How does that make you feel? The idea that you might be sent to prison.
I just gotta stay around a little while longer for the kids, especially my boy. Once he's out of the house, the government can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Give me life, give me the fucking chair, whatever they want.
I've never seen you like this.
Like what?
Scared.
The thought that his crimes and his actions are coming home to roost results in him screaming out to the world that narc's prayer I referenced in the last episode.
You motherfuckers, you motherfuckers. No, I don't fucking deserve this.
Maybe we should stop.
Let's redirect away from Tony's family to his victims again.
Oh, Jesus.
What happened?
The money's gone.
Can't you come and talk to me? Hey, I'm your friend. Suppose you hadn't been able to reach me and I come over your house and I find you dead. How am I supposed to feel?
And how am I going to pay you back? $50,000 to take the rest of my life?
Well, wipe my tab at the restaurant.
That's what, $6,000? What about the rest of the money?
I'll assume the guy's dead. Collect the 50 G's.
Thank you. The cobwebs are now removed. You saw this whole thing, didn't you? You knew exactly what was going to happen. You can see 20 moves down the road. Please, I don't blame you. I envy you. It's like an instinct, like a hawk sees a little mouse moving around a cornfield from a mile up.
You think it's my fault you're fucking lying in here?
It's just that somebody mentions 50 grand, bankroll of French digestif, and your mind goes through all the permutations at like internet speed and realizes, oh, worst case scenario, I eat for free.
So he says I planned it all along. That I could see 20 steps down the road how it was going to go and how he was going to get screwed.
Did you see it?
I don't know. According to him, it's subconscious, second nature.
But the accusation bothers you.
Is that the kind of person I am? A hawk? It's an animal.
But again, Tony reaps in that convo, sown as early as season 2, baby.
So where you sleep?
Yeah, sometimes. He told me not to get in the game. Why'd you let me do it?
Well, I knew you had this business here, Davy. It's my nature. Frog and the scorpion, you know?
What's the end?
The end, it's planned bankruptcy.
He has no remorse, no real sympathy, and definitely little to no empathy for this guy. He's a sucker, a frog, and Tony's a scorpion.
Well, as I understand it, you make a lot of your living through usury. So why the pangs of conscience this time? Do you think your reaction would have been the same if it all, your friend taking the pills, all of it, hadn't happened a week or so after you found out about Gloria?
He's built this way and has no intent on changing. Let's double back and look at the civilians and how they feel about Tony Soprano.
What?
Oh my God.
What the hell is it?
The victim has now further been identified as Matthew Bevilaqua, a Soprano family associate.
Fuck, give me that.
Tony's crew has such a history of terrorizing the community and such a mythical ethos about their danger that the family are pissed at the cops.
Officials close to the investigation are keeping tight-lipped as it may involve a high-ranking mafia member.
Oh my God.
Where's that detective's number?
On the fridge?
Those lying cocksuckers. Where on the fridge?
On the fridge! On the fridge!
Where on the fucking fridge?
I knew it! I knew it! But you had to be the big man!
They aren't wrong to feel this way either, as I'm infinitely more scared of a sociopath who is fearful than one who is simply just angry. When Tony returns home after delivering a package to Neil Mink, he unwittingly forgot about and missed AJ's swim meet.
Don't you got school tomorrow?
So?
So it's late. Go to bed. Did you hear me?
I hope you apologize to him.
For what?
Tony, you promised him you were going to be at his swim meet.
Oh, shit, I forgot.
How could you forget?
Something I had to do.
Tony, he almost came in second. You should have seen his face when you weren't there.
Yeah, well, I saw his face the other day when he had to go to the mall when I wanted to take him to the movies.
What are you, 6 years old?
Yeah, I said I'd try to be there.
So where were you? Did you go see Christopher at the hospital?
Yeah, I went to see Christopher at the hospital.
Wherever you were, it couldn't have been more important than letting your son know that you care about him.
No, only you care. Fuck you.
No, fuck you!
What you gonna
Fuck
do
you!
tonight
You fuck you!
when you need my arms to hold tight? Tell me what you were gonna do tonight when you need my heavy voice to tell you goodnight. Honey, but
I'll wrap this up with a clip from Tony talking about himself when he was at his most depressed.
What you're going through is very painful, I know that.
You get stabbed in the ribs. That's painful. This shit, I don't feel nothing. Nothing. Dead. Empty. Like fucking King Midas in reverse here. Everything I touch turns to shit. I'm not a husband to my wife. I'm not a father to my kids. I'm not a friend to my friends. I'm nothing.
Only, the part that I think he misses isn't that that was true then, but it's always been true. Instead of trying to change his life or understand that he's part of the cause of his suffering, he just projects it out onto everybody else, can't handle the idea of him being separate from the people around him, and I don't know, he drives me insane. I can't really come up with a better way to wrap things up than that, but it's just like, I don't know, I relate to a lot of these issues and these dynamics, and it's hurt me a lot, and I think I use this show as a comfort to understand more of that shit in my own life. That's all I got to say about this. I'm excited to work on more videos for you guys soon. Thank you so much, and I hope that we reach 1,000 subscribers by the time that this video is uploaded. I have no idea how you guys found me, but I'm so glad that you have, and I wish you all a good night. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Hey folks, got one last editor's note for you. So I'm going to be doing a live stream Q&A AMA style thing. I'll be doing it this Saturday the 7th at 12 p.m. CST, 1 p.m. EST, and I'd love to have some of you on there, and you can ask me any questions you have about the show or just mouth off. I don't know. It'll feel like a nice opportunity for me to get to know some of you. And yeah, so wish y'all a good night, and thank you so much for watching the channel. We're about to hit 4,000 subscribers, and I couldn't be more proud. And yeah, thank you, and welcome to the Esplanade Explainers community. Alright, peace guys.